Hello everybody, this is Boxing Bros UK. I am his Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew the Boxing Brain. Hey. Today's topic is Usyk, I keep doing that. Usyk now versus Fury 2. Everyone keeps doing it. The undercard, that's what we're talking about today. We're going to start from the bottom of the card to the top. Give a shout out. Dennis, well, first of all, Isaac Lowe versus whoever. Not interested. I'm never interested in this fight. He's only on the card because his story's like best mate. No one cares. It's just he's a little guy. He's never gonna. He's just not interested in these fights. Just forget him. Right. So we'll start from Dennis McCann, local boy, Maidstone, trains at Rochester Health Club where I work, and his brother versus McGrail. McGrail's British level fighter. One loss on his records to another guy who's 8-0. So we don't really know how good this guy is, to be honest. But what we've seen so far and what I've seen of him when I've had a look at videos, highlights and stuff, to me, he just looks like British level. Could turn it up against Dennis McCann. We don't know, but I'm just seeing a routine win for Dennis McCann, onwards and upwards. It's a quick payday. But these fights can go wrong sometimes. So what are your thoughts?
Well, we saw that with Mark Chamberlain and Padley, didn't we? And look, I think McGrail's probably, because he's 15th with a WBA McGrail, which interestingly, McCann isn't ranked as of yet. I don't believe in the WBA. He's 11th with a WBC, 12th for the IBF. I didn't realise, Chris, he's high up in the WBO, Dennis McCann. He's third in the WBO. So,
yeah, but who's his promoter? Who's his promoter?
Well, yes.
Is it Frank Warren?
Well, yes.
Of course he's high up in the WBO.
Mr. Warren, who's got a very good time.
In the WBO are like that. They're like that. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know the WBO invented a European title? It's not the EBU title. They invented their own European title just for Anthony Yard to have a European belt that wasn't the real European belt. Just for Yardy. Yeah. That's how close the WBO and Frank Warren are.
Yeah, they got the old international belt as well. And they got more belts than I've had at dinners at WBO, mate, I tell you. Listen, no, you're right. We don't know. I mean, I don't think he's any mug, McGrail. I've seen a little bit of him. There's not much to kind of see there. But, you know, like we saw with Josh Padley, who at the time was kind of fighting 6-rounders at leisure centres. Look, listen, particularly at the kind of lower weight, shall we say. I mean, you don't know. People can spring surprises. But I'm kind of with you. I mean, McCann had that hard fight against Bohachuk first time out. The rematch was a pretty good fight as well, wasn't it? I think it was Bohachuk, wasn't it? Yeah, Bohachuk.
Yeah. And then he gave him a bit of a boxing lesson on the rematch as well.
Yeah, I just think McCann's a little bit more battle ready. I think he's ready. Should get the job done. Points win. He's not got a massive amount of knockouts. I think. Well, he's got a 50% KO ratio, McCann, but I don't know whether he stops him or not. I'm not sure. We'll see.
I can see McCann winning convincingly, but like you say, let's not forget. Remember Breeders Prescott, who knocked out Amir Khan in 2 rounds, and earlier, before Amir Khan was a world champion, before he was anything, when he was like on the rise. And what did Breeders Prescott do in boxing? Nothing. He ended up becoming a journeyman. So you just don't know sometimes. And even what else did it happen to? The guy from Leeds who just retired. What's he called?
What guy from Leeds? Oh, Josh Warrington.
So he vacates his title, has a tune-up fight against some Mexican who got knocked out in the first round by someone, thinks it's easy, and gets himself absolutely battered.
You never
and
know.
stop. So you
Off
don't
the
know.
ball. Well, how many times have we seen this now, Chris? I mean, Ben Whittaker's a prime example.
No.
You know, don't start to believe your own hype too soon, young man. You know, still got to do the work. Show something else in the ring. Show a bit of gut. You know, you can't just go in there and just roll over everything.
Yeah, but like you say, Dennis McCann for the win. But because we don't know about McGrail, I don't know how he's going to win. But next one, I'll let you kick this one off. Johnny Fisher versus David Allen. Thoughts, mate? Thoughts.
Listen, look, everybody likes the White Rhino, don't they? You know, the Doncaster Dazzler, the Doncaster, whatever they call him.
Doncaster De La Hoya.
Yeah, Doncaster De La Hoya. That's the one. You know, I always remember, was it against Price or someone like that, where he put a pair of socks down his pants at the weigh-in?
No, it was against Tom Dallas. It was against Tom Dallas, wasn't it?
I was against someone me and Chris know quite well. Well, I know him quite well. Tom Dallas, former fighter in the Medway Delta. Yeah, he's a right character. Like his YouTube channel, great career. Keeps getting the fights. Don't know how he does it. Gets all the spars. He's becoming. It's amazing. He's still only in his early 30s. I think 34. I don't know what he is, but I feel like he's been around for absolutely forever, and he's become sort of a sort of glorified, one of the more favoured journeymen, I think it's fair to say. And I think it's one of those where Fisher will eventually run through him, but I expect Allen to maybe give him 5 or 6 rounds. I think the second half of the fight, Fisher will just be too big, too strong, but Dave Allen will do what he always does, Chris, and he'll give it a right good go. And that's why we love him.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm with you on this. Like, I don't know how he keeps getting these. Like, he got a Fraser Clark fight and then spitting his gum shield out, doing all them shenanigans, got stopped or quit or whatever happened. I can't even remember. It was a shit fight. But I just think, like, I hope, because I love Dave Allen. I love watching his YouTube channel. I love what he's about. He says it how it is. Like, I really, really like the guy. If he watches this, which he probably doesn't, but I'd like to go for a beer with him one time. Like, as a straight shooter. But I want him to, and he's in camp now with Jamie Moore, so he's taking the fight serious, and he has said, like, he felt embarrassed after the Fraser Clark fight out of his own mouth, and he doesn't want to be remembered for that. So I really think, and obviously in his head, he battered Johnny Fisher in sparring, and Johnny Fisher admitted that. Obviously, it was about 10 years ago or whenever it was, so you can't really take too much for it. But in his head, he can think, look, I've had him in sparring. Is he that much better than when I beat him in sparring? Am I that much worse? You know, and I just hope, and he has been fighting really low opposition, but 6 rounders on small all shows, Dave. I really does. And in my heart, like, I don't know why, but I'm thinking it's going to be a close fight. I think Johnny Fisher's going to win, but Dave Allen's going to give it his all and make him look really bad. And it's going to be like, and everyone's going to be writing. Saying,
I know. Yeah, I know. Well, actually, you know, I know Lucas Brown wasn't anything, but I remember years ago, everyone was expecting the power of Lucas Brown just to go right through him, and he stopped him with a body shot. I don't know if you remember, Chris. It was a big win for Dave Allen. It was probably one of his bigger wins. And I don't know, is he able to find the kind of bit of form or a bit of something and kind of stop the Eddie Hearn's darling? I mean, I think, you know, the way Matchroom are going, and I mean, his stable is looking worse and worse and worse, Eddie Hearn. Sorry if Eddie does. I doubt he watches, but you never know. I know he likes to see all the YouTube channels coming up. It's looking a bit bleak for Eddie Hearn at the moment in the promoters' world. It's not looking great. So he needs Big John Bosch Fisher to do a job on Dave Allen. So yeah,
and I hope, and in my heart, as a fan of Dave Allen, I'm going for. I reckon that Dave Allen's going to make him look bad, and it's going to be really close, and he might have to rematch him because it's that much of a close fight, even though Fisher's going to win. That's what I'm hoping. I really want I really want Dave Allen to fucking give it some welly. Really do well.
I'd like to see that. I would like to see it. I've just got a feeling in the later rounds, Johnny Fisher might land something. Might land something fairly clean and get the job done. But do you know what? Again, I know it's a cliche and we'll say it. Heavyweight fight. Johnny Fisher's still very raw. You know, still a bit stiff for me. You know, is he going to put his shots together? Heavyweight, mate, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know.
As he learned how to throw a straight right hand, like down the pipe, like that. Not like this, not like this. Not like, can he throw a straight right hand like that? Can he turn it over properly? We'll see. But next, the next one is another local boy who trains at my gym, and his brother trains at my gym, and he lives in Chatham where we are. Moses Itauma versus Dennis McKean.
Yes.
Now, this is a good step-up fight. Really good step-up fight.
Yeah. I think this is definitely we were looking at what we spoke about Itauma a lot, and we were looking at when he was calling out Parker, wasn't he? And you just never really saw that fight happening. Why would Parker take that fight? You just could never see it. But we were looking at the kind of top 15 and thinking, who really next? I mean, McKean, I don't think I'm not sure where he is in the rankings, actually, McKean. He's probably in and around the top 20, I think, maybe. Yeah. Is that sort of area? His only losses against Hrgovic, where he got stopped in I think it was the 12th round. So he took Hrgovic. It was a bit of a bore fest. I mean, McKean didn't really do much, to be honest. But 34, decent record. Hrgovic is the only really top guy's fault. But I agree with you. I think this is a very decent fight for Itauma. It's a good next fight after Marius Wack, for sure. And if he gets this done, I'd like to see him under a bit more adversity in the next fight. Have his chin, you know, checked a little bit. Have his heart checked a bit. That's what I'd like to see next, if he wins. Of course.
Yeah. What do you think, I say Moses Itauma is just better than Dennis McCann McKean in all departments. He's not. What's he called again? He's not called Dennis McKean. What's he called again? What's his first name? McKean.
Dempsey McKean. Dempsey, I think. Yeah.
Dempsey. That's it. I'm calling him Dennis McKean. Dempsey McKean. He's better than him in all departments. Hand speed, power, footwork, lateral move, everything. Like, he's better than him. But this is the first person that he's fighting who's coming to win. He ain't coming to lay down. Obviously, in his head, he knows this is a prospect. This is a hot prospect. But like you say, he gave Hrgovic a hard fight, and obviously he gave Hrgovic a hard fight, and then he's trying to get back into the heavyweight contention, get himself a few Saudi paydays. So he's going to be coming to win, and this is the first person that he's fought that's going to be coming to win, who's not old, past it, or got a losing record. So it's a really, really good fight, and it's a lot better than the like Solomon Dakers, because this guy's going to throw hands. Solomon Dakers, Solomon Dakers is going to be like fucking a Coley, just like holding.
Yeah,
that fight would have been boring.
I think David Adelaide's going to be the next English champion. I see him stopping Solomon Day, because that's obviously on another card that's been announced recently. But not too much to argue with there.
I'd like to see him fight David Adelaide.
David, I'll tell you what, if David, maybe that's what they're looking at, because I think that's a better matchup. And also, Chris, with the job that Wardley done on his career, that'll be a nice little marker. So let's see Moses Itauma maybe against Adelaide next, right? And then see kind of that, because Adelaide is quick. He can match him for speed. I don't think Adelaide would win, but going back to Itauma McKean, I think he's quicker. He's more powerful. He's obviously coming. He's got massive ambitions. I don't think he'll underestimate McKean. I think he'll stop him later rounds. I think championship rounds, perhaps.
I mean, I think he'll figure him out, and then I reckon he'll stop him between round 7 to 10. I can't even see it going championship for rounds. I think Moses Itauma, he's got the ability to turn up the gears and knock someone out. You know, like, and I just think that's what he's going to want to do. He's going to want to make a statement because he's got that in his head. He wants to beat Tyson's record. So unless he wants to play possum and have a shit performance and people want to fight him because he didn't perform too good. Because apparently people said that's what Issac did against Chisora to lull people into fighting him.
It wouldn't surprise
it didn't work on Turkey out 6 with big buckles.
If Itauma like fucking folds McKean up with inside 2 rounds, it's going to be a bit of a statement, isn't it? It'll be a bit of a kind of, okay, this is, you know, so sometimes, you know, there is a little bit of that. Maybe, you know, get those rounds in, be a bit more strategic, you know, so you can get those. Otherwise, Adelaide probably won't want to go anywhere near him. He probably doesn't already. You know, to use that as an example, like Nick.
We know Johnny Fisher don't want no parts of Moses Itauma, and it's like that. Like Moses Itauma said, when Johnny Fisher's like selling out arenas when he's just a novice, really, and why is he going to fight Moses Itauma, this 19-year-old who will probably fucking end his career for him? No more big paydays, because that's what will happen. So he's not going to, because when you ask Johnny Fisher, he's like, well, I bring this to the table. It's just excuses. It's not like, I'll fight him. I'll fight him next, not us. It's, well, I want more money because I bring more money. Basically, he's cashing him. He said, if I fight Moses Itauma, I want a hell of a lot of money because I know he's going to fucking knock me out. That's what he's saying. Ducking, that's what Johnny Fisher's saying.
Yeah, that fight ain't happening anytime soon.
Moses Itauma's like, I'll fight him. I'll fight him next.
I don't see that happening anytime soon.
That's the only heavyweight Eddie Hearn's got. It's the only one he's got. So he needs to like wrap him in cotton wool and keep getting the checks as long as he can. So the last fight, Bohachuck versus Madrimov. Bohachuk, yeah. So we all remember Bohachuk had that great fight against Ortiz. Really, really close fight. Gave him the business. Really, really, really good fight. And we all remember Madrimov had that close fight against Crawford. So they're both coming off the back of fighting really good fighters in really, really close fights. They're no bugs, and this is what I like to see in boxing. If you've had a loss, but you give a good account of yourself, getting back in there in another competitive fight, going for broke. This is what boxing's about. It's not always about, we want to see world titles. Sometimes you just want to see good fights, and this is a good fight. A really good fight.
Yeah. I couldn't really disagree. I mean, Bohachuk, but I mean, he probably got this fight because of that performance. I mean, a lot of people, or at least some people, thought he maybe shaded that against Virgil Ortiz. You know, it was it was nip and tuck, that's for sure. Now, I think Madrimov gets the job done in this fight. I do really rate Madrimov. I think, you know, he's wonderful amateur career. Thought he was a little bit maybe more passive than he needed to be against Crawford. He did have Crawford sort of thinking in that fight. And I'll tell you what, just as a shout out, I'd like to see the chances happening. I'm not sure in terms of the IBF. I'd like to see him against that Murtazaliev, who beat up Tim Tszyu. I think Murtazaliev is a really interesting fight. I know a lot of people watching maybe will know Murtazaliev, but he's from the same part of the world as Beterbiev. We know what these Eastern European Russians are like. They're made of granite, these guys. Very heavy-handed. Did a massive job on Tim Tszyu. The IBF picked up the IBF. I think it was vacant. But, you know, he's an unknown quantity the most, and Madrimov might fancy it. And I'll tell you what, that could be an interesting fight. next up. If Madrimov wins, of course.
And for a world title, you better get there, because I know Crawford's looking at that guy thinking, let me scoop that up and try and get undisputed. So if he gets that belt before Crawford, we could see him and Crawford rematching for undisputed at 145. And then you throw Boots Ennis in there if he gets a title. All exciting things at 154. Looking good. I'm looking forward to this fight. It's going to be a cracker, I think. Can't wait. And I think that's it, almost really, on this card.
Yeah.
Any comments?
Let us know what you think.
Please leave some comments.
Disagree?
Yeah, let us know what you think about the fight. Yeah, agree, disagree. You think it's going to be good? You think it's going to be bad? Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.